Welcome back everyone. We're up to step 16 of the Tamiya Grasshopper build. Let's get into it. Okay, so last step we built the front wheels. This one I'm going to build the back wheels. So like I said, the whole straight section of each tree is a front or rear wheel. So you should have two trees left with two sets of wheels that are the wider ones for the rear. Let's get these off here. Like I said, these are the ones you really want to make sure that you clean up any of the excess flashing. And yes, never cut towards yourself, people. I know it's an old rule, but my goodness, cutting away from yourself, I find just as dangerous because you have less control. This is only really dangerous when you've got a super duper sharp X-Acto blade that's brand new. They can cut like well, they are pretty much a razor. This knife here, it does the job, but let me tell you, I've been using this blade for quite some time, and it's not until the thing literally is falling apart that, or can't cut, that I'll get a new bit of the blade out. For most of the jobs, it still works fine, and it's not sharp enough to really cut me if I did happen to slip. Once again, that's just another part of the whole building experience. Have little cuts, all that, it just, means you put your blood, sweat and tears into it. I'm joking, of course. No one wants blood on their RC car. We have nice white wheels. Okay, so we'll get our three components. There's your rear tyre. Now these are directional. You can do the front one, do the first one whichever way. It says up here in the manual that they do go a certain way. So you want them to be going that way forward. Is there any arrows on the actual wheel? No. And so I am tempted to put a hole in there, because I do have the proper tool to make a nice little round hole. That way they do have some give. These are a pretty firm tyre anyway. So I don't think it'll make any real difference. Didn't think I'd have to make this decision. I thought they'd have a hole in them like Tamiya Hornet wheels do. So I said these will be, yeah, I'm going to put a hole in it just for my sake. So as I said, this is just something I'm going to try and see how it goes. These are my shock tools for my racing buggies and anything that needs, a shock shaft or whatever held. And it also has, in the front here, this bit here, is a hole punch for the tyres, which is, when I heard about that was on this tool, I was like, okay, that's might be useful. It wasn't until I tried it that I realised how useful it was. So you get two bits in with this tool. It's a bit different. So that one's for 1/8 scale apparently, but I'd still think I'd use the 1/10 scale for it with the smaller one. It just screws in there. Now, because of the carcass and that, I'll line it up with using the top of it there. And hey presto, there's now a perfectly round little hole. I'll try and do it now, as if I did this the other way around, I'd be pulling on the carcass of the tyre because it is so deep. As long as I line up the top part here in between the ribs, I know it's going to put the hole just there nicely in the middle. That's all it needs. I'm just, as I said, this is a bit of a trial. The Grasshopper that I had years ago, that basically was my son's learning car to drive on. I think I used Rough Rider wheels and tyres on it, which I've still got for my Hornet now. And I've got a new set of them for this with the, what's it called, Subaru Brat wheels, because the wheels for the square block tyre, like the Rough Rider, are a different width than these tyres and wheels. So like I said, these do have a direction. You can see that they sort of scoop that way. It's hard to see on this camera, but I can see it looking at it. So what you want to do, as I said, the first one's not as important because we can do it either way. I'm just going to slowly start pulling the tyre over the rim. The new tyres are easier. Once they're old and crusty and gone a bit hard or that, this is a real tough, real battle. That's the way I normally do it. As I said, it is hard to do this around a camera. But basically, what I do is get the palm and hold the rim down and just work the tyre up. Once you get half of it over that halfway mark of the rim, it's not as bad. It's just getting it there is the interesting part. There we go, they're starting to pop. It's a bit of a workout, these wheels, I must say. I'm going to jack it off. I'm getting a bit warm here, even though we are almost in winter here in Australia. All right. That's the other thing, when you do this in summer, it's a lot easier because the tyres are just that little bit softer. These tyres are a little bit more difficult than the Hornet ones. They are a little bit firmer. All right, that's now in the tyre. All I have to do is get one bit over and twist it around inside. There you go. You can see the marks there where it's really rubbed against the rim. You can see that bit of flashing on that tyre there. If it causes trouble, it's tough luck now it's on there. All right, so once again, you have the thin, longer side that goes on the inside, and the nice smooth bump that's for the outside. But once these ones are actually different. On the outside one, clean this one up on the inside just a little bit. If you see any flashing on the inside of these, trim it up because it will make it much easier to get these on. So once again, I'm going to line up the holes with the and the stars. While you're pushing it down, you can sort of twist it, guide it. You can generally see from the front also. And if you have to, you just move it a little bit with the screwdriver. It tends to work. That looks nice and even there. You can see through the holes cleanly. And the same with the front. I don't think they're perfectly lined up. You hear that air can escape now. But we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. Already got my nuts out here. We pulled them out of the bag. This, of course, uses a slightly longer 2x10. Because they're only slightly longer, but once you've done these a bunch of times, you can just spot them by eyesight, which one's which. Yeah, I don't think this is perfectly lined up. We'll see when we get in there. Oh no, maybe I do have it. I'll start feeling that screw coming through on my finger. Yep. Well, that's a miracle. I normally always used to struggle with the first one. Sometimes the second one would be a bit easier because you sort of got used to what you're doing. That's why I tend to be getting the first one done straight away. Right, grab that one. It's there. Yeah. The first one pulled it into line. That one's got it. These are a lot more difficult for big fingers to get these in the right spot because they are so much deeper. Yep, that's done. Okay, I'm kind of glad I put the hole in. Oh, it fell in. The hole in these tyres. And so I won't know for sure until I get it down to the beach and give it a run and see how it handles. But I think it will help. I don't think it's going to hinder. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's on. Felt that one push the nail out first and then start to pull it back down. Once again, go around, just check each one by one, make sure they're all down, all tight. Sometimes when you get the others all tightened, one of the first ones will be really loose then. Of course, everything's been pulled tighter. And that's one wheel done, one rear. Like I said, it's not as easy. The fronts are definitely way easier than what the backs are. But as long as you put a bit of pressure on it and do it the way I showed you, it's doable, totally doable. Like I said, these ones are scooping this way, so this one's going to be on the rear right, going forward, scoop that sand. So that means this one will have to go the same way. So I have to make sure that the inside of the nuts is on this side here. So I'll be back when that's done. We'll check out both wheels together. Okay, so this has been a fun one. As I said, same as the front. Second one has just been a bit of a nightmare. In actual getting the inside wheel in, my muscles must have been warmed up from that first rear wheel, so this one went on heaps easier. I slightly misaligned the back of the rim here, and it just would not line up with the nuts no matter what I did. So I'm taking it out to redo it, but it was really been difficult. So what you do is basically there's a little line in there, a gap between the inside rim and the outside rim. This with a small screwdriver. Of course, this one's got the long inner section that sticks right out in the middle there, and is quite tight. It's hard to wiggle it back out. So, okay, and try again with this one. So this is the fun bit, getting all this lined up, getting it to go down so they all line up equally. There might have been a little bit of flashing on the inside of this because it did not want to sit down over the centre hub part. I said this isn't detrimental because the screws will pull everything straight. If you're really worried about it scraping it, a little bit of sandpaper will smooth that out. Definitely feels like this might be still something there. I'll see how this one goes down, because last time it just would not seat. This outside part of the wheel would not sit on the middle. It looks a bit better. Yeah, it's going down further. Last time it wouldn't get this far. It's sort of sitting on the outside lip of the inside rim. Sort of looks like so I've still got screw in that one. Oh, nut, sorry. And that's in. That's a relief. All right, back when this is done. Okay, that's both back tyres done. You see when you put them as they would be, the outside on both outsides, the tread pattern is the same, so it's done correctly. That is step 16 now complete, the back wheels with extra air holes. As I said, just done by me. We'll see how that goes. All right, so next will be step 17, attaching the front wheels. So if you want to see more of this build series, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in that video.